Alterra, which is a research center being part of the University of Wageningen in the Netherlands. So, one question related to the knowledge broker. When related to food systems, knowledge brokery shouldn't only connect researchers and policymakers, but also other stakeholders. So could you give us an example in which this successfully happened?
Yes, thank you. Yes, we indeed, from Wageningen, Alterra, we have been asked by the city of Rotterdam to support them in their development of food cluster strategy. The city of Rotterdam is quite eager to get much more into direct exchange with the business world around them. It's a large agri-food sector in Rotterdam, which is situated at the harbour and next to the harbour in Westland, but also lots of logistic points around the city. They are building now a huge market hall, like in the past centuries where market halls were very popular. Nowadays less, but the city rebuilds the biggest market hall of Europe in the center of Rotterdam. And they, as a city officials, they would like to be much more in touch with the business, which is basically being the economic engine of the city. And that's not necessarily the case. So they ask researchers like us to get involved because they know that lots of knowledge about food transport, about sustainable food innovation techniques, about land use change, about impacts is available. And together with the city, with us and the city, they try to get into a more informed dialogue with the business world. And this is in concrete terms. There are people from the Harbour Planning Agency, Rotterdam Main Port, and also from Barendrecht, where there is a big logistic point where there's basically 80% of the whole supply of AGF, this is potatoes, fruit and vegetable products, are being transferred through and reach the big chains, the big retailers like Albert Heijn. And it's repackaged, there are new products coming out, so-called convenience food, different types of tomatoes are being just packaged there, etc. So it's a very big enterprise, and together with these enterprises, we are debating how to develop a sustainable future strategy where the city can be part of, and where the opportunities for the business are secured and not working against each other. So this is where we do have literally the direct contact with these enterprises.
Okay. All right. And one question related to living labs. So how does this method help to unite the contradictory positions of the different stakeholders, such as the city, the government, and the farmers?
Now it directly leads from the previous question, because the way we do this interaction is within the living lab. And we literally have, in about 3 weeks' time, we have the next living lab together with these different stakeholders. This means the city officials are in there, different companies in this logistic cluster point, and harbour and other contact people who deliver food are involved. And the way it is contemplated is that we interview the different parties beforehand, set up the agenda, ask them to just underpin their information or their opinions with facts and figures they have themselves about the transport, about their costs, about their desires, how to survive in the business. And that we then have an agenda which is kind of co-shared by everyone. And then we will give the opportunity for all of them to basically explain and develop their approaches together. So it's not like in separate areas where a certain city or a zoning plan comes, or where there is a certain innovation plan by the industry. It's something where there is listening to each other. So this doesn't mean that everything can be resolved, but it gives a much earlier possibility to exchange in a very crucial moment of opinion building. And this is what we call capturing the situation. You don't really capture in the beginning. You leave the capturing, that means the type of problem-solving momentum. You leave really as far as possible to the end of the process, and not in a an early phase, which is always something that so this is one example of how we work with this. Yeah.
Okay.